Hello there, fellas. Udaldor here, and welcome to yet another mod spotlight. And today we are going to take a look at Refined Relocation. I did say in one of my previous videos that I would be making a spotlight on this, and here it is. So today we're going to take a look at Refined Relocation 104A. It's the latest version as of this video, and it's by Dynious. Very cool dude. He's done some great work on the mod, and originally it was actually a mod jam mod, and he kept working on it after mod jam, and it's turned out quite big and quite cool. You'll see there are a lot of different things we're gonna go through today, so we better get started. Alright, so today we will be talking about simple, cheap, awesome sorting. Very awesome sorting for early game stuff before you have AE or logistics pipes and that stuff. The sorting system in this mod is extremely simple and simply awesome. Cross-mod transport, even over the air, so you'll be able to transfer fluids from fluid ducts to pipes, to fluid pipes, or to fluid conduits from Ender.io, and you'd also be able to transfer items between item ducts and pipes, or item conduits, or even the nodes from extra utilities. Very cool. Better options for item power and fluid IO. So basically this mod adds some really cool extenders, and we'll be taking a look at them over there. And also lastly we'll be taking a look at player teleportation, and there are a few other things I'll be talking about as well, but these are the main features of the mod. So let's get started and start talking about the sorting system. So the sorting system in Refined Relocation is fantastic. The concept is easy. All inventories connected together will be a part of a sorting system. So all of these inventories right here are part of my sorting system. Now you might notice that these don't look just like normal chests. Neither do these or these. Basically what he's done, if we take a look here at the Refined Relocation page in NEI, you'll notice that we have some sorting chests, and this is simply a chest with some gold. And if you have iron chests installed, you'll also have all the different iron chest versions. So an iron chest, a gold chest, diamond chest, and all of these also have 4 gold as the recipe. If you have equivalent exchange 3, you also have those chests like this, also the same recipe. If you have Java, you'll have a sorting barrel, and this is very useful if you get a lot of a specific item. But you can't only use these. You can actually use a sorting interface to connect any inventory from the game to your sorting system, and I'll show you that in just a while. But the basic concept is that all inventories connected together, all sorting inventories connected together will form the actual sorting system. And the way you use the sorting system is also quite simple. If we take a look here, I have 3 different sorting chests, and all of these are connected together. Note that this chest right here is not connected to these chests, so this is a separate sorting system network from this one. Alright, I hope you understand that. Basically, you can open the inventory. Looks just like normal chests, nothing weird there. But what you can do is you can go ahead and shift right click on the chest instead of just right clicking, and you'll be presented with this GUI, the interface. And in here you can set what this chest will accept, what items or blocks this chest will accept in its inventory. So we could have this chest set to any of these, or multiple if we wanted to. We can even add custom filters, which I'll show you a little bit on later. But we could go ahead and set this to Steve's cards. And basically what you have is, first off, Dynious has added some own things here. So all ingots, all ores, all logs, all planks. He's also added all different creative tabs. So basically you have every mod in here. You can sort by mod. I could set all of these, and now all thermal expansion items would go into here. You know, we have industrial craft, and we can sort by mod, which is extremely cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this to all ingots for now. Alright, I'm gonna talk about the priorities and the whitelist blacklisting later. Actually, if you set it to blacklist, everything but ingots will be accepted here, so nothing weird right there. Alright, so this is now set to ingots. This one I'll go ahead and set to building blocks. Why not? It's right here actually, there you go. And I'll go ahead and set this one to Ender IO, which is quite a far way down. There you go, Ender IO. So now all of these are set to accept specific items. So what you can do is you can place any item in any chest. I can open this chest and put any item I want to store in this chest. So this wool, I put it there, it instantly gets transferred to the chest it's supposed to go to, which is this one, because wool is a building block. You know, I could do this, I could even go ahead and put some glass and some obsidian here, I could put the planks here. All building blocks will land in this chest sooner or later. I could also try to put the Ender IO items in here if I wanted to. You know, they would be moved into here because all of these items are in the Ender IO Creative tab. Very cool. Now, for the ingots, you'll notice that all of them, Right, this chest is full. When a chest gets full, Right, creative. When a chest gets full, the item won't be teleported. Well, teleported, won't be moved. This lead ingot stack will now stay in this chest and not be moved to this chest. Alright? But then, you know, if I clear this out, then I would put the lead in. Now, it would teleport over there. Very, very cool. And Dynious, if you're watching this, one feature I would love is the ability to set the chest to automatically check every, I don't know, 10 seconds if some item can go to another chest. So, you know, if I put another chest here and I set that to building blocks and a higher priority, then all these building blocks would be moved over here. Or, you know, if suddenly there is space in the chest where an item is supposed to go, it would be moved there. That would be a very, very nice addition. Still, this is very cool. Now, next up, we have this here. And what we have here is we have 3 different sorting chests. We have a sorting barrel, and we have an ender chest. Alright, so these are not connected. None of these are connected. What if you want to connect inventories that can't touch each other? Well, you can go ahead and use a sorting connector. Stone, gold, iron. Not too big of a problem. Just place it there, and now this is connected. Very, very cool. Nothing weird there. But what if we want to connect an item that isn't a part of the mod, an item that isn't a sorting inventory, like this ender chest? Well, we can make a sorting interface, which is the connector and some gold, and we can simply go ahead and shift right click on the side we want to connect to. So now this ender chest is connected to the network, and this also serves as an inventory connector, a sorting connector, and now this is also a part of the system. Very cool. Not too bad, huh? All right. So let's talk a little bit about priorities. Right. So if I go ahead and set this to all ores, actually, if I set this to all ores, I think that's it, and I set this to all ores, now both of these chests can accept ores. What would happen if I place some ores in here? Well, let's see what happens. Put some gold in, put some iron in, put some tin in, put some copper in. From what I've seen, it will move to the closest inventory. But maybe I don't want the ores to go here first. Maybe I want them to go to another place which is a little further away. Well, I have this priority button right here, and I can click it to increase the priority. You have the 5 different priorities. You have low, normal, low, normal, normal, high, and high. And you left click to increase and right click to decrease. So now I can set this to normal high, and this has a higher priority than this chest. And now the ores would go over here instead. Very, very simple system. Now, how do we use the sorting interface? You simply right click to open up the sorting interface, and this sorting interface will manage this chest. So let's say all building blocks go here, and that wouldn't be a problem. They would be teleported. Well, not teleported. I keep saying that. Moved into here. Very simple. Now, how do barrels work? If you set a barrel to accept a specific item, like cobblestone, this will have the highest priority there is. I could go ahead and set this to super high, well, to high, and the cobblestone would still, well, actually, sorry, I actually was wrong right there. The barrel has higher priority than the chests, I should say. The barrel will always fill up first, unless you set the priority, I think, to, yeah, to high. This has normal high, which means it has a higher priority than the default settings on the chests. But if it's set to high, they won't go into the barrel. They will be forced to go into that inventory, and that is very, very useful if you have a quarry and you pipe stuff into this ender chest, for example. You don't want them to go into a chest for building blocks. You want them to go into this barrel and fill that up first. And I think it's very, very cool. Now there's one feature I forgot to tell you about. There we go. You can take any of these inventories, a chest for example, and let's get a diamond chest and a chest. You can get any of these chests, and you can get a sorting upgrade. That's something I forgot to mention. Sorting upgrade, this one. Simply glass and some gold, and you can just go ahead and right click and it'll turn the chest into a sorting version. Nothing weird right there, very simple. So you don't have to make new chests. If you want to make it a sorting one, you can just right click and you'll have one of those chests. Very cool. So over here we have another block, which is the sorting importer. This one is made with the connector, some iron, gold, and redstone. Nothing too weird there either. What this will do is any items piped into this inventory, it has an inventory right here, will be put into the sorting system. So here we have a chest set to accept ingots. Here we have a sorting interface, and you can see I use these connectors. Obviously this also works as a connector. And I've got this set to ores. And these all have power. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some copper, some tin, and some lead in here. And it will be moved over here because this will accept that. Alright? Then what happens is it gets put into the furnace and it goes in here. Now, as you can see, we get the thermal expansion copper. But if I want the industrial craft copper, well, you have ore dictionary conversion in here. So I could go ahead and specify what types of items I want. So now when the copper lands in here, it will instantly be converted to the industrial craft copper and then put into the system. And you know, I've specified lead and tin. See, this is what I mean. It doesn't work like that. It won't automatically be moved, I have to replace it. Right, and you can have an infinite amount of numbers here. You could go ahead and set, you know, however much stuff you want. Now, most of this stuff is already, you know, but you basically can have more pages as well, so it's very cool. And now you'll see the thermal expansion tin will be converted into industrial craft tin. So it's a very nice feature, nothing too hard to understand. If I get some pipes and I connect the pipes here and pipe some stuff in, which I'm actually gonna do. Let's get some ingots. Let's get a stack of, not bronze, a stack of copper from Tinker's Construct and do this. You'll see it'll turn into the copper from IC2. Very simple. Alright, so what about the custom filter, you may ask? Well, oh yeah. The custom filter is a very, very awesome feature, and I haven't messed with it a lot, but I'll show you the very basics. Here you have a question mark. You can hover over it and you'll see that you have a wildcard character and an OR dictionary lookup prefix. What you can do with these is you can basically go ahead and specify anything. The wildcard character means anything, so I could say anything ingot goes into this chest. So basically anything that ends with ingot will now be accepted into this chest, like this lead, this tin, and this copper. Alright? Very cool. I could go ahead and set this to, let's see. Right, I could go ahead and I should be able to go ahead and set this to block off star. And that means that anything that ends, well, starts with block off will be accepted into here. And I think iron blocks would go, well, diamond blocks should go. Yeah, I messed that one up, but all right, you get the you get the gist, right? The OR dictionary lookup prefix is pretty cool. If you type an exclamation mark and then something, anything in the OR dictionary that that is named this will be put into this system. So I could do star OR. Now anything that ends with OR will be accepted into here, like copper, gold, but also cores, because this also ends with OR. And that's probably not what you want if you type core, right? Well, if you type OR, that's probably not what you want. So you can do the OR dictionary OR and OR dictionary OR star, right? This means it's going to check for anything that starts with OR in the OR dictionary, right? And everything in the OR dictionary starts with something. So it starts with or ingot or dust. So that's why I didn't do like this. I didn't do like that because that won't work because it starts with OR, right? So now copper goes there, gold goes there. The cores don't go there because, well, it's not an OR in the OR dictionary. Very, very cool. The last item that I think you could use with the sorting system is the filtering hopper, which is made like this. And this works like a normal vanilla hopper. However, you also have this interface. So I could set this to all ORs. Basically what would happen now is it doesn't accept anything but ORs. You know, I can do this and it works because, well, it's ORs. But if I try to put some sandstone or some cobblestone... Oh wait, what did I mess up now? Oh, it's already set to building blocks. Derp. Right, ores work, building blocks don't work. You'll see they bounce like this. You can't put them in the inventory either. It's locked to ores. So a very, very cool feature right there. Now, it also doesn't accept anything from other inventories. So if I set this to building blocks, the ores... Actually, I think that's a bug. Hopefully he'll fix that. I was pretty sure that would work. But apparently, you can do that. I hope he fixes that, because I'm pretty sure gold ores aren't building blocks. Oh well, but you understand the very basic concept. This is a very early game, early development mod. It's still in, well, it's not a work in progress mod, but it's still in its early stages. It's, you know, still only 104A, so there could be bugs and stuff. But you get the point. Alright, so let's move on to the block extenders. These are amazingly cool. And the basic concept of a block extender is that the block extender will extend a block. Right? So pretty much, if I connect a block extender to a chest, this block extender now acts as that chest. If I connect it to a furnace, it acts as the furnace. It's very, very cool. So the very basic block extender you have is some iron, some glass, and underpearl and obsidian. It's a little bit more expensive than the sorting items, but this is a very powerful block, and it is very, very awesome. So basically what I have here is I have a redstone furnace from thermal expansion. As you'll see, it doesn't fill up. Over here I have an item duct connected to a block extender, and oh, one thing I forgot to mention. To connect a block extender to a block, simply shift right click on the side you want to connect to, and the obsidian will face that side. You'll see if I put it here, it faces down. But if I do that, it's going to face that side, and you'll know that it's connected. So I have an item duct here connected to the block extender. I have a creative energy cell connected to the block extender. And on this side I have another block extender with a lever. And you'll notice when I turn this lever on and I pipe the stuff into this block, you'll notice that it fills up and the gold gets put into the inventory, even though nothing is actually touching this block except from the block extenders. Alright? And it doesn't run because it requires a redstone signal, and you can transmit redstone signals through these blocks as well. It's fantastic. You can actually toggle the ability to transmit redstone, so if you shift right click now, this won't be able to transmit the redstone anymore, and it won't run. Now it will. Alright, very cool. This also works for fluids, IC2 power, buildcraft power, pretty much a whole bunch of things. Alright, now the tier 2, I'd like to call it, of the block extender is the advanced block extender, made with some blocks of redstone and the block extender itself. And the best way to show the features of this one is to use a vanilla furnace. The vanilla furnace has three slots: a top slot, a bottom slot, and a side slot. If you pipe something into the bottom or the side of the block, it will land here. If you pipe it into the top, it will land here. Right, so what happens if I want to pipe something into the bottom, but I have to put it on the side or the top? Well, you can actually use the advanced block extender to fix that. This has a GUI. Inside here, you can specify a whole bunch of things. And first, I'll talk about this bit right here. Basically, if you take a look at the block, you'll see a whole bunch of different sides. The back, for example, is orange, and you see that right here. The one facing the furnace, actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the bottom, I guess. This is the obsidian face, as you can see. You have obsidian block here, and you can see that it says furnace, and you can also see what this block supports. Inventory, right? You can't put power or fluids into this, only inventory. Inside this GUI, you can also toggle the redstone signal. So instead of shift right clicking, you can simply click the button in here, and you'll have an information bar right here. Items will get inserted into the chosen side. Yeah, I can't speak. Chosen side of the connected inventory whenever they are inserted into the relevant side of this block extender. So the top of this block is red, right? This is red. I could set this to a whole bunch of different things: up, north, south, west, east, and down. If I enable this hopper now, we're going to pipe some coal into the furnace. It'll land in the top slot because it's set to up. North will put it into the bottom slot. Why is that? Well, if you put something into the north side, which is one of the sides, it will get put into the bottom slot, sorry. Same for south, west, east, and down, still goes into here. But whenever I set it to up, now all of a sudden, it's going to land in the top slot. So you can actually, I'm out of coal. Yeah, but you can pretty much specify in what slot inside the inventory you want to put your item. So it's a very cool feature right there. Just a very basic guide on that. Now you have two other options in here. You have the stack size and the stack items. options. And what you can do is you can go ahead and set it to, well, you can specify the stack size you want to put into the chest. So if I want a stack size of, let's say, 32, actually let's set it to 8. Now if I enable this hopper, it's going to put cobblestone into here, and you'll notice it'll only keep 8 items a stack. Alright, pretty cool. I can go ahead and set it to 7. Now this stack will only have 7. I can set it to 9. Now it's going to fill up from the beginning and make all of them 9. It's a very cool feature. Now the stack items, spread items option will basically allow you to either put stuff into this slot, then into this slot, and then into this slot, and then into that slot. That's what the stack items one do. You can set it to spread items, which will spread items evenly across all slots. So if I have 2 right here, that's weird, then it's not going to fill this slot because there is already stuff here, right? And see, that's a very cool feature. If all of these have, let's say, 3, and this is empty, it just fills that one up. It doesn't just place 1 here and then moves on. It really evens it out in a very, very cool way. So that could be useful for example, the furnaces from IC2, because you have induction furnaces there. And I'm going to show you that right now. Right, you have the induction furnace, and you can see now here that it's connected to an induction furnace. I probably have to replace this. Yeah, and you'll see now what I meant. It says IC2 energy. Now I can supply IC2 energy into this block by doing that. Alright? Pretty cool. It's a very, very cool feature. I've said that a few times now. But the spread items option is very cool here. Let's say we want to cook this. It's gonna make sure both slots are filled instead of just one, because this is what would normally happen if you pipe stuff in. And with the induction furnace, you know, you can smelt 2 items at once, and then this feature is very, very cool. Alright, let's move on. This is a bit of a yeah, I don't know what to say, a bit of an advanced setup. We have multiple things here. We have fluids, we have redstone signals, we have items, and we also have power. This is a fermenter from forestry which can accept fluid, power, and items. Alright. And you can actually see that in here. Inventory, fluid transmission, and buildcraft energy. Very cool. So right here we have a hopper which will put items into this here, and it's going to put the fertilizer in the correct place, and then it's also going to put the saplings in the correct place. Alright, back here we have a tank with water. Let's try to pipe something in. We'll see what happens. It fills up the correct slot. Alright, pretty cool right there. Now you might ask what this will do. Well, at the moment nothing, because we don't have power. And this is another very cool feature. You can connect these extenders to each other. So this right here is also connected to the fermenter. It does say that it's connected to the block extender, but it's actually connected here. So if I get one of these biogas engines from forestry, and put some biomass and some lava in and turn it on, you'll see something pretty cool. It's going to take some time before it starts running, but you'll see that this actually powers the fermenter through this block, and into this block. And it creates biomass. It is phenomenal. I love this block. It's so fantastic, and the possibilities are limitless. And of course, you can also extract, well, shit. You can also extract, whoa, that's weird. You can also, I've said that a few times now, you can also extract liquids and items from the blocks. I could set this to extract, and it's going to extract the biomass now. Very cool. And the I/O just gets a lot better. Amazing features from the mod right there. Now we have a few more of these block extenders to go. Let's quickly take a look at what the filtered block extender can do. It's made with some gold and the block extender itself, and you can you can right click to set a filter. So now you'll basically filter what items can go through this. You can't filter liquids, of course. Liquids and power will still be allowed through, I'm pretty sure, but you can specify what items will be allowed. So I've got this set to ingots and logs, and I've set this to ores and planks. I have the same items in here. I have ingots, planks, logs, and ores in both these hoppers, and you'll see that the iron goes through, the planks go through, and this one skips the iron, and it also skips the wood. And this one will skip the planks and the iron ore. So, a very cool thing right there. It's not that complicated, but you get the gist. It works like the sorting chests. Nothing weird really. Now you can cover the sides of the obsidian. So if I have one of these block extenders below here, maybe I wouldn't want to see the obsidian right there. It doesn't look all that good. I can get a linker and right click on any block, and I can go ahead and right click on that block, and it's going to cover the obsidian side, only the obsidian side from the top, as that block. Brilliant. Very, very cool. Alright, so let's move on to the next block extender. This is the advanced filtered one. It's the advanced and the filtered one in the same block. And you can make this two ways, either with the advanced one and some gold, or with the filtered one and some redstone. So basically you spend the same amount of resources whichever one you make. So what do we have here? We have a similar setup to what we had earlier. We have a pulverizer set to accept ores. We have a chest set to accept ingots. Not ores, obviously, because the ores that land in here will be moved here. And we have the advanced filter block extender, which will allow ores to be put into this chest. So everything, only ores can go into this inventory pretty much. And that's the same feature that we have right here. So here I have a chest with some iron. I'm going to go ahead and flip this, which will transmit this iron into here, and this will accept it because it is an ore. It will go over here and start pulverizing. The ingots will land in here, and they are allowed here, but then again, this here will pull those ingots out and back into the chest. It's trying also to put these ingots into here, but this won't accept it. So it's very smart about that. The conduit knows that this won't accept the ingot. Sorry, gotta move a little bit. So there you go, very cool. Alright, I hope you understand that. Pretty much, ingots, ores go through, get pulverized, get smelted, the ingots land here, and get put back into the same chest we started with. Now there is another new feature with this one, which is the unfiltered filtered extraction. And what this does is basically, if you have it set to unfiltered extraction, you'll be able to extract anything from this inventory. I'll be able to extract redstone or anything using a conduit or a pipe. But if I set it to filtered extraction, it doesn't work that way. Everything that's in the filter won't be allowed to be moved from this chest. So if I turn this on now, which I'll do like that. Actually, what did I do now? Alright, yeah, I need to power this one. If I do that, you'll see the stone being pushed into here. And you'll see the ores are left behind, but the ingots also went through. Because the ores are on the filter, and this will try to keep the ores in here so you can't get the ores out. If I set it to unfiltered extraction, then the ores will be allowed to go through. Alright, very simple. Now lastly we have one more block extender. This is the wireless block extender, made with some diamonds and the advanced filtered one. And it is a very cool thing. It's a little overpowered, but then again, the range of it is that far. And okay, what do we have here? We have a sag mill from Ender.io. This can accept power in form of Buildcraft energy and RF, and it can also accept items and redstone signals. So, to link this, take a linker, right click on the block. You have to shift right click obviously because, well, otherwise you'll open the GUI. Then simply go ahead and right click this, and if we open the inventory, well, the interface, you'll see that it says wireless link linked to SAGMill, and you'll see what it can accept. Like I said, Buildcraft and thermal expansion energy as well as inventory. Alright, so the range of this is 16. If this block was further away than 16 blocks, which this block over here, for example, should be, yeah. Actually, just to be sure, let's take that one. Then if I try to link it, you'll see that it's too far away. So 16 is the max range, and you can change that in the config file if you want to do that. Alright, so right now this will send everything over there, and basically if we turn this on, it'll work just the way you thought it would. It's gonna fill it up with power, but why doesn't the ores go through? Oh, this is set to the wrong thing. I have to set it to in or out. And now perhaps, what's going on now? This should extract the gold ores into here. Alright. Interesting. What is going on here? Will I have to do something like that? Alright. Probably a derp on my side. Do I have to set it to something? Let's go and set it to all ores. Ah, okay, so you have to set it to something. I see. Alright, I see. But it's set to unfiltered extraction, so it will never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. So now it's putting the gold powder back into the chest again. Alright, very cool. It works just like the normal block extenders, but over the air. Alright, very, very cool. Now I'm gonna take a quick break, and soon we're going to talk about the buffers. So it turns out the video became a little longer than I expected, so I have decided to split it into two parts. And this has been part 1, and part 2 will be a little shorter, about 16-20 minutes, something like that, I think. 15-20, not 16-20. So in the next part, we'll talk about the buffers and the player relocator, which will be able to teleport you to a whole bunch of cool, teleport the player back to a specific location. It's a very, very cool setup. But that's about it for this part. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, which will be uploaded tomorrow, I think. So, thank you guys for watching. This is Udaldor. Bye-bye.